Afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing this afternoon? I know it's Friday. We all need a margarita. I am Saul. I am with Europcar. I'm actually the national account manager for Europcar here in the US. Thank you again for joining me this afternoon. Thank you, Amanda, for hooking us up. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Europcar and how to get registered for our trade platform. Well, you will find great pricing in car rental, not only in Europe, but around the world. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to, again, is share my contact information. Please reach out to me if you have any questions regarding the platform itself. We will be looking at how to register. But this is my contact information. If you do need any assistance once you start using the platform with a particular booking that you made or anything of that sort, please reach out to our sales support team. I have provided the information on the bottom as well, and that is Europcar at us/sales.com, or you can call them at 888-871-8464. Again, anything that has to do with issues with bookings or name changes or cancellations, anything like that, that's who you need to reach out to. If you have any questions, by all means, I can answer those for you. Or if you need assistance with the trade platform, if you have any technical issues with the trade platform, that's where I will come in. Let me give you a few seconds just to either, get a screenshot of this or jot down my information. Okay, and then we'll proceed on Europcar and who we are. Perfect. So hopefully everybody has done so by now. If you want at the end, I'll come back to the page and if the ones that come in late, and I'll share that information with you again. So what are we going to look at today? So what we are going to look at is number one, the registration process. How to register, where you need to go register. I'm going to give you a quick company overview so that you can see who we are as a company. Then we're going to look at our fleet, the classification of it, and once you do the booking, what forms of payment. And of course, I'm sure that 90% of it is going to be via credit card. So let's take a quick look at that. Insurance options. And then lastly, our privileged loyalty program so that you guys have some idea about that as well. So let's start with the registration process. So first of all, this is our public site. This is not where you're going to go register, okay? Do not go to this site. This is not where, if you do have already your Europcar account with our public site, please make sure that you don't do any agent bookings on here because it will not transfer to our platform, and therefore you will not be paid your commission. So where do you need to go? You need to go to europcarus.com. Jot it down, europcarus.com. This is where you're going to go register for our trade platform, our agent trade platform. Once you go onto this site, this is the screen that you will see. And as you can see, it's very similar. The process for booking cars is very easy. It is just as you would go on our general site. You're going to enter the pickup of where you want to pick up the car and the return dates and so forth. But how to register. So on the top right-hand side, you'll see that it says register. That's where you're going to click, and that's where we're going to go, right? So what's going to show up? So it's going to show up a whole page of different information that you will need to enter in order to register for the Europcar platform. Obviously, you're going to put your email address. Please make sure that you enter the email address that you use for your business, right? That's the one that's the one we need. Why? Because that's the one we're going to use to send the commission to. Obviously, you're going to create a password, confirm the password, very standard stuff, right? Then once you've done that, then it's going to ask you for agency information. The most important aspect of this particular page that you need to fill out is please, please, please make sure that when you enter host agency, that it is Archer. You don't have to type it in. As long as you put and then you can scroll down, you'll see that it says Archer on there. You're going to put in travel agency. Here you can either do one of two things. Either if you have a name for your particular agency, put that in there. If not, just add it as Archer. Okay. Then it gives you the option if you have a website, if you've created a website for your agency, go ahead and put that in there. And then your personal information, first name, last name, your address. Your address. Don't put in there the address of Archer. Put in your address, your home address. Okay. Why are we asking that? Because again, if there's any issues with the commission, which there's not going to be, but just in case, we have your address. Then we continue on to state, your postal code. Telephone number is the other one that is extremely important. I've had people register and they've put in the general number for the particular host agency that they're with. That's not going to help me in any way, or it's not going to help the sales support team if they need to get in contact with you. They won't be able to unless you have one or two things: a correct email to reach you at, or a phone number to reach you at. So make sure that those two in particular, email and your phone number, are in there. Then the other two items that are very, very important is the tracking code. So if you see on the bottom, I've highlighted what the tracking code is for Archer. It's E as in Echo, C Charlie, 3101. That is the code that would identify you as an agent for Archer. The other item that we're going to put in there is Archer's ARC number. Again, 05824840. Give you a few minutes. I'm sure that all of you have that, but I'll give you a couple of seconds so that you jot that down just in case. Once you submit that registration, I'm sorry, let me step back. So before submitting registration, make sure that you enter that code that appears there. Each one of you has a particular code that is kind of like making sure that you're not a robot registering for the platform. So that A4393X, that one in particular, there's all different kinds, but make sure that you put that in the box, and then you're just going to submit registration. It literally takes seconds, and you're going to get an answer back from the platform that you have registered successfully, and it will give you the code that you entered, that EC3101. Up here, this is another code, obviously, for another account, but it is going to give you that particular code, confirming that you have submitted your registration. Are you completely registered? No, not yet. Okay, so what happens is once the system sends you the confirmation that you've submitted the registration, then it comes to me, and then I approve it. Again, it takes a couple of hours at the most. So you're going to get two confirmations. As I said, one is going to be directly once you've registered on the site. And the other one is, again, confirmation on that email that you put in there that you, again, have submitted that registration successfully. Okay, so you have double confirmation that you've registered. And again, as I said, it takes a couple of hours. It might, obviously, if you're registering this afternoon at 5 o'clock California time, then it won't be I won't be able to see it until Sunday evening or first thing Monday morning that I'll be able to confirm your registration. So make sure that gets done. Perfect. All right. So any questions on that before we move going forward on the company overview? Any questions?
It doesn't look like we have any questions on that, Saul.
Okay, perfect. Again, the registration method is extremely easy. It's just a matter that you guys make sure that you're entering the correct information. Again, two things that are very important are your phone number and your email. And then when registering regarding Archer itself, is that you enter that tracking code and Archer's ARC code. Those are the four most important things when registering. All right. Perfect. So let's take a look at the company itself. So just a few tidbits on Europcar. So we were founded in 1949. People say, oh, how old are you guys? Well, we've been around quite a while, quite a while. Not only are we Europe's largest car rental provider, but we are the world's largest rental provider. We have over 287,000 cars available globally. Uh, Europcars, one of the most important initiatives that we have currently is that we are very green friendly. And so we are committed to becoming a global leader in sustainability. And about 15 years ago, we launched our program called Green Charter. And we are one of the world's first companies that implemented something like this. We are part or subsidiary of Green Mobility Holdings, which is owned by Volkswagen Group. Why is that important? If you are owned by the world's largest car company, which is the world's large, Volkswagen is, believe it or not, the world's large company, that means that the cars that we provide to our customers are all basically new cars. So our average age of a car is about a year and a half, 2 years at the most. That's it. So you're going to get quality when you're renting from Europcar. Okay. Then lastly, we do have not, because we are so big, we own about another 10 brands or so globally. The two most important ones to note at the moment are Goldcar, which is a low-cost rental provider in Europe. Actually, they are in Germany. And then recently, about a year ago, we purchased Fox Rent-A-Car here in the US. And so we are currently transitioning to integrate Fox into Europcar's brand. Of course, that means a complete overhaul of the Fox brand itself. We don't know at this point how if Fox is going to retain its name or not. Most probably it isn't. I can tell you at least here in Miami where I'm at, if you go to the airport and you're going to rent a car, it will be a Europcar desk. Okay. So again, we're not a small nor a medium-sized company. We are the world's largest car rental company, backed by the world's largest car maker, which is Volkswagen. Right. So not only, as I was saying, do we have those two, Goldcar and Fox, as our associates or part of our team, but we also have a lot of other companies. So basically, we are a complete mobility company, right? So besides car rental, we also have vehicle sharing. So we do have a company in Europe called Ubiku. So it's not too popular here in the US. People they tend to do use it, but in Europe there is a way that if you own a car, you can actually lease it out or rent it out to somebody else. It's kind of like the Airbnb of the car company, right? Obviously, these cars are extremely vetted. They have to come in and do certain inspections every so often to make sure they're up to our standards. But we are a complete mobility, so you can rent from a couple of hours to days to weeks to months, everything in between, right? Let's continue. So again, what brands do we have internationally and what brands do we have locally? Internationally, globally, you'll see Europcar around the world. You will also see Goldcar, and Ubico is now being also established in Latin America and in certain parts of Asia. In intra-country, then as I mentioned before, Fox is our brand that we have that we're currently coordinating to become part of the Europcar brand. And Bookbinder is the German version in Germany. All right. Bookbinder is more of a commercial vehicle renter than anything else. But again, we are growing. We are the world's largest, and we're still growing as a company. A little bit more. Uh, we are currently in about 3,850 plus locations around the world. Our biggest markets are going to be obviously Europe, number one. That's why we're called Europe. The US, Asia, Latin America, and then the Australasia uh, region as well. So we are in 3,850 plus locations in 140 countries around the world. So there's nowhere that you can visit this earth that you will not find either a Europcar or Goldcar or one of our brand partners agencies, which makes it great if by some chance there's an issue. Gosh, I don't know, that you have to leave your trip beforehand and you need to get in contact with somebody in Kazakhstan. What do? We do have an office in Kazakhstan. You can get in contact with us there. Or you're in Australia in the middle of, of the outback you're driving between Adelaide and Sydney. And what do you do? And who do you contact? Are there offices in? Yes, we do. Again, we have 3,850 locations in 140 countries around the world. That's what makes us the biggest. There are companies out there that say, oh, we are massively big. Yes, you are big, but not as big as Europcar. And you do have representation in certain countries in Europe and in certain countries in Australia, let's say, and some in Latin America, but not as far reaching as those for Europcar. Right? So why do you want to choose us as a partner? Well, again, we are a global mobility provider. As I just mentioned before, we are not only in a few locations here and there, we are in 140 countries around the world. Currently, about 20% of our fleet is already a green fleet, and we are wanting to grow that even more. By 2030, we want that number to be up to 35%. We are a worldwide network, again, 140 countries. We Because we are so big, we own the majority of the market share, and currently it's about 29%. Flexibility. You can increase, decrease the fleet if you are renting or one of your customers is a corporate customer and they are renting cars. We can assist with that. One thing that we're moving forward with quite a lot is digitalizing our rental experience, making it much, much easier when your customer is going to go pick up a car and they not having to wait an hour in line to pick up a car because everybody else from wherever they're coming in is renting the car at the same time. So we do have and I will show you that in a little bit, one of the initiatives that we have. And of course, because we are so big, because we have such a huge portion of the market share, that means that it's savings for you, right? We own our own cars. We have so many locations that other companies can't compete with. We can offer you those savings as well. So that's why you want to have and you want to choose Europcar as a partner. Any questions? All right. Hope you guys aren't sleeping. Not yet. It's not margarita time yet, so.
They're not sleeping. Sorry, I was muted. Someone had a question on
Yes.
how can agents assist clients in case of accidents or damages during the rental period? What are we supposed to do as travel agents? They're asking.
I think that the first and most important thing is for the traveler to get in contact with Europcar in whatever country they're at. That's the main thing. I would think that the travel advisor's role would be prior to your client traveling, right? If they want to do any changes to the dates, or they want to cancel, or they want to add a driver, or they want to add some ancillary service to it. But yeah, if it's already during your customers or your trip, then don't worry about it. We take care of everything in your place for your customer,
Perfect.
right?
We have a few more questions. The
Sure.
next
Go ahead.
question is, do you offer one-way rentals?
Yes, we do.
And then they said, if so, how can we book these for clients who are traveling between the cities or countries? Do we just book them online normally, or
Yes.
what's the
Yeah.
process?
It again, it's just like any other booking that you're going to make. It's going to ask you. So you will have that client that say, okay, well, I want to pick up my car in Vienna and return it in Venice. The system will give you that option.
Perfect. This question was already answered, so I'm just gonna say rewatch the beginning of the training because Saul showed you how to register very specifically, and so just follow the instructions there. And the portal was Europcar-us.com. That's the TA portal, so make sure you're not going anywhere else.
Right.
Um,
And I'll go back when we finish the session. I'll go back so that you guys can take note of that site again.
Perfect.
Let's continue. So again, we offer a wide range of services, short-term rentals, intra-mobility solutions. We even have what we call our subscriptions, and those are kind of like a lease there's a lot of people that actually spend the summer in Europe, and they might spend anywhere between a month to 2 months. So this would be a perfect solution for them, right? Because it'll give them kind of a discount because they are renting for such a long term. And then we have some that are even long-term solutions, or 3 months or so, and they can lease the car and with an option to buy the car if they want to do that. And then, of course, again, we have corporate car sharing. So with our brand, like I said, Ubiquo. So if your client is maybe going to, we have Ubiquo in Japan. So if your client is going for business to Japan, and they don't want to rent a car because it is very difficult to drive there, and they don't want to take public transportation, or for them a car service is too expensive, they can use the service as well. So again, we have a whole array of different options to offer your clients on the leisure and on the corporate side. Okay. Any questions so far besides that?
Yeah, we did have a few more questions.
Okay. So you want to leave it for the end, and then we'll just answer that,
Yeah.
or whichever way you guys want.
Yeah, let's just save it. Well, I'll save these questions for
Okay.
the end. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So this is what we were talking about, going forward with making it the experience of renting a car easier for. So we have started to implement our key dispenser service throughout Europe, mainly. And it's basically when the client rents the car, and it's mostly for rent now, pay now options, right? So it will, once you do that you get the confirmation, it will give you a code. Then you'll go to our stations, and then what you'll have is a particular code that you will input. It will give you the key, and you're on your way. You pick up your car and you go. Same, very easy. So right now, it's mostly available in our Europe stations, in airports and in railway stations, but it is fastly growing. And I know that they will be offering this service in the US as well. Just a matter of time. again, this is the way that we're becoming proactive, being innovative in the market, making it easier, a more pleasant experience for the renter. Nobody likes to stand in line for hours to rent a car. Nobody. So this is perfect. Okay? So keep that in mind. All right. So let's take a quick look at our fleet, the classification, and payment method. So, obviously payment method, 90% of the time it's going to be a credit card, but just a quick look at that, just to be on the safe side. So what does Europcar offer as a fleet? Remember, I told you we are part of Volkswagen, which is the biggest car maker in the world. So we have a whole range of not only Volkswagen cars, but many other brands around the world. Obviously, Volkswagen is a preferred. So you have your standard cars, you have your minis, your economic, compact, intermediate, your standard cars. Remember I said we are growing our EV fleet. Currently, it's about 20%. Again, we have a whole array of different EV cars that we offer. That obviously is contingent on where you rent your company. Some of these are not available everywhere, right? And then we have our premium brands as well. So everything for everybody, little bit of everything for everybody, depending on the budget. All right. Besides cars, again, remember I said we are very also heavy into our corporate. So we offer a whole array of cars, trucks, if need be, for special events. I have people that go to Europe and their families of 8 and 10 that are traveling for their family vacation. They're not going to fit into a Mini Cooper, that's for sure. So we have the options of different van services, right? Again, this is contingent on the availability of this particular vehicle on where they're going to be rented or where they want to be rented, but we do have them. Right? Classification. So as a standard, we do go by AGRIS. That's, Association of Car Rental Industry Systems. Their standards. So when you enter the system and you're looking for a particular car in the GDS, this is where you find the classification for each of the cars that we have. Okay. And then forms of payment. Again, credit card is the majority of the time. This is the one we'll use the most. I would say that one of the most important thing is if you are booking at a booking now, pay later method, please remember that the person that you're renting the car under, aka the card holder, is the one that will be the primary driver. Once you get to the counter to pick up your car, you will need to show the credit card with that particular driver's information. In other words, the card for the driver has to be the card used at time of rent. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, I think it's
right.
clear. They're giving me a thumbs
Okay.
up. Thumbs
All
up.
right. Perfect. So credit card is going to be your number one method. Make sure that the card, you can always add a driver to it, obviously, but the principal person driving the car, that's whose credit card has to be used to rent that car. Again, that's pretty standard, right? That's the way every car company does rent that. Okay. All right. Insurance options. Just like, again, every car company, we do have several options of insurance. Please bear in mind two things. So I get a lot of inquiries regarding, well, my insurance in the US says that rentals are covered under my insurance. They may be in the US, but that does not mean that they are covered internationally. Please make sure with your insurance company what that coverage is. Okay? That's number one. Number two, I also get, well, I'm American Express Platinum member, and again, that, that is under, car rental is under covered under that Platinum card. Each country works independently. Some countries do, some countries don't. Same thing with American Express Platinum or the Black Card. It depends on if they are covered in those particular countries. Again, please check with the client's credit card or have the client check and make sure that that is the case. You don't want them to get to Montenegro and they said, oh well, obviously this doesn't apply to us here or something like that. So before you do that, cars come with a basic insurance package. You can upgrade to a premium or medium. It depends on the needs of the particular traveler and what the way they drive really. So we do have different options for that as well. And what is protected, you can see on the side over here what the basic covers, what the medium covers, and what the premium covers. Right? Again, please note, each country works differently. Some countries do already have a basic package in it. Some countries don't. So insurance is not a standard. Okay, it's different from country to country. So just make sure that when you are renting for your customer that it does cover insurance, or if it doesn't cover insurance, to put it in there or ask obviously your client if that's the way they want to do it. But general consensus is that please make sure that you are familiar with the insurance being provided or offered by Europcar for each particular country visiting. Any questions on this in particular? Was I clear with insurance?
Yeah, we don't have any questions on insurance.
Okay, awesome. It's very standard practice, right? So what is offered when you guys are doing your search? Well, so and this is in particular more for the insurance, but generally, right? So once you do your search, this is kind of what's going to pop up. It's going to ask you, if you want to upgrade to the deductible rate, your insurance wise, and then it's going to give you several options if you haven't already asked for, as far as maybe you need some GPS or a baby seat or, any other ancillary service that you want to add at that particular time when you're doing your rental. And basically, this is what's going to show up when you do select a particular car. It's going to give you pricing and the insurance that's covered and anything else, any other additional expenses that are incurred by that. All right. And again, if you want to know more information, in particular about the insurance, because that's kind of what we were talking about, you see that little I in that circle? If you press that, it'll give you a drop down exactly of what that particular insurance rate covers. All right. Again, very standard, very easy. It's going to give you all the information as far as where you're going to pick it up, where you're going to drop it off, dates, the type of car, and what other expenses it covers in there and what it consists of. Very easy. All right. And then finally, we have our loyalty program. So if your customers want to join our loyalty program, that is great. You can refer them to that. We don't have a physical card. It's actual virtual card on your phone. And then we are available in the app wallet or the Google Wallet. very easy to register. They can earn points and redeem them online. And it's great for, we have everything from, discounts with our preferred partners and hotels. Because we've been around so long, we do have a lot of perks that we're able to offer our customers, especially our privileged program customers. So there's quite a few, especially with, as you can see, one of the great ones is that 15% off on Accor hotels. So, all right. All right. That's pretty much it on my part. Again, I didn't want to really overwhelm you guys with a lot of information, especially since it is extremely easy to both register for the platform and the booking process. Very, very easy. There's nothing to it. Once you start using the platform, it's easy to get into, it's easy to search, and it's easy to book.
Perfect. Well, we do have some questions from the travel
All
agents.
right, sure.
The first question is, do you offer eco cars, like hybrid cars or electric cars?
Yes, yes. So we have, like I mentioned before, currently 20% of our fleet are EV cars, and we want to grow that fleet to about 35% by 2030. So we were one of the first major corporations that established a green program. That's very important for us.
Perfect. Next question is, if clients do join the program, is there a way for us to put in their number so they can earn additional points?
Uh, Not via the platform. No, not currently, but they're working on that.
Perfect. What happens if I need to modify the reservation? Can I do this online or will I have to call in?
So there's certain things that you can modify. Um, but if it's for example, if it's a point of origin that you were going to pick it up and it's changed now, obviously that alters completely the rate. So you will have to call in. And we have a dedicated team that helps you with that. And it's not only one call center, we have several call centers around the world that will help you with that. So you're not going to wait, half an hour or whatever it may be to get somebody on the phone. And
Perfect.
of course, and it's always going to be English speakers.
Great. Next question is, do you have any seasonal or limited time promotions that I can offer my clients so I can boost my sales?
We do. So one of the things, and let me go back to the first screen where I had, okay. So if you see up here, we do have, I showed you registration, but we do have promotions and we do have deals. The deals will be for you guys. So we do have different discounts and so forth for our partner. So you will find that in there as well.
Great. And then just because you're at that screen, they did have the registration question before.
Yes.
Do you just
So
want to like quickly
there
zoom
you go.
through that? Okay.
Sure. So again, this is where you need to go. So Europcar-us.com. That's the site that you need to register, and that is the site that you will be using when you're going to do bookings. All right. So again, this is the first page. This is what you're going to see when you log in. As you can see on the upper right-hand side, it says login. So this is the screen that show up. You enter the information in there, and then start your search.
Perfect. Easy.
Okay.
I like it. Thank you.
Very easy. Very easy.
Next question is, do you have special vehicles that I can offer, like luxury or family types?
Yeah. So again, we offer a whole array. So we have our standard vehicles, gas operated. We have our EV fleet, as I mentioned before. Then we have our premium line, which are Mercedes, and we have a whole bunch of other types of luxury cars available. We have trucks, so we have anything from minivans for 6 to 8 people to if you want to rent an 18-wheeler, we got those too. So everything and anything in between. Whatever the need of the renter is, we have it.
Perfect. This is a good question too, off of what you were just saying. Do you have handicap accessible vehicles?
Yes, I'm sure we did. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Good
Yeah.
question too.
Again, you make sure because we don't have that type of that is very limited, but so it depends on the location as well.
Perfect. Just looking at the questions. This is a good one. Um, what training opportunities do you have for travel agents, besides this one in the future for us to do?
So we are going to have a special promotion, and I will keep you guys posted on that. It'll show up on that page that I mentioned before. Hold on. So up here where it says promotions, you will find that there. So keep checking on that. And you will see. We'll have a kind of like a special promotion on, the amount of bookings that a particular agent does. Will obviously compensate them with something
Great.
additional to the commission that they already earned. But yeah.
Do you have any marketing materials or pictures that we can show the clients of the types of cars?
Gosh, not that I can share with you all. But again, if you see up here next to promotion locations and fleet, if you press on fleet, it does bring up the different cars as that picture that I showed you before, that it has all the standard cars and the EV fleet and so forth. So there are some pictures. You can probably take a screenshot of that and send it to you. But again, if you are doing a booking and you kind of know what the client wants, that what I showed you that has the hold on, go back. So this is kind of what you'll see in that tab where it says fleet. This is what will kind of show up. But again, if you're doing you can send them this prior to confirming, and they can see what type of car it is.
Great.
Right?
Yeah, because that shows the type of car and it
Yes.
has a picture. So,
Correct. Yeah. But
uh,
again, we'll see this. This is what you'll see when you go onto that tab that says fleet. It'll show this and the
great.
different cars.
Next question is, what is the commission rate for Europcar?
So it is 13%.
Awesome. That's a really good rate.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I told you guys that, because we are so big, being the world's largest, being that we have so many cars, 287,000 at the moment, we have the flexibility of providing you with a little bit more, giving you a little bit more than the competition does.
I love that. Next question is, do we still get commission if clients purchase insurance upgrades at the counter?
No, no.
Okay, so you would try to upsell that during the selling process as a travel agent.
Yeah, correct.
Perfect. And then if they do it in person, I mean, there's not much you can do
Right.
about it. Yeah.
So
But I
try
would,
to make sure that especially with some of the ancillary products like GPS and I think the product that most travelers forget to include at the time of rental is the car seat. That is
mm,
the number one product that, they get to the counter, they're like, "Oh, I got 2 kids that I need." Yeah, well, you need a car seat. So that's kind of so ask, obviously, or if you know your client, just remind them, "Hey, don't you got to have a car seat for your kids." So
oh, of course. I mean, and that's really important to qualify
yeah,
your clients
yeah,
correctly and make sure you book everything correctly
correct.
as well. Well, thank you so much, Saul, and thank you, travel agents, for the wonderful questions today. This will be
Sure.
recorded, so you guys can watch it at any time at your leisure. It'll be under Europcar in the Travel Cafe website under trainings. And yeah, we have this training. And then Saul also did it in Spanish. If you speak Spanish or any of your team members speak Spanish, we did post that already. So if you guys want to go view the one in Spanish or lead any of your team members or fellow travel agents, you can do that. Saul, is there anything else that you would like to add before we close out this session?
Yes, I want to thank all of you guys for sharing the afternoon with me. Again, I know it's Friday and we all kind of want to get everything done so that we don't have anything pending. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, here's my contact information. Any questions that you guys have, please let me know. Be more than happy to answer those for you.
Great. Well,
All
thank you
right.
again, Saul, and thank you, travel agents. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Saul.
Take care.